All right, welcome everybody. This is Vishan Borich from Team Tough, and I am the Tough Mama, and I'm here with our Monday hangout that we do live called the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central Time. So if you're watching this right now, be it a recording or whatnot, welcome to the hangout. And on the hangout, my sole purpose, my vision for this hangout is to help provide you with actual tips, techniques, or inspiration so that you can grow your business and your life. And I'm really into providing extreme value because for me, that's what it's about. When you're starting a business or when you're working a business on your own, you need that inspiration and value so that you can press forward and do the right thing that you can in your life. So today we've got a big topic. I'm going to be discussing how to talk about your business. And why is this important? Let's start there. Because when you are in business for yourself, it's so valuable for you to be able to speak about your business in a way that attracts people to you. And I'm a big believer in what we call attraction marketing. If you're not familiar with that, attraction marketing is bringing people towards you rather than you chasing them and trying to get a sale. So you're attracting people to you because they want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust, right? You wouldn't want to do business with people that you don't trust or that you find offensive in some way or that is pushy, trying to sell you something. And I wouldn't want to do business with that type of person either, nor do I want to be that type of person. So my goal is to educate people, educate and provide information about what I do, but more importantly, to provide value. And that's really what I found has worked the best, is to just continually strive to provide value and to do things that are going to help people, depending on your target. I say people because it really depends on your target market. You don't want everyone coming to you. You just want those people that resonate with you to be attracted to you. So I'm educating and sorting. That's all I do, really. That's what I do. I educate and sort. I educate those that resonate with me, such as parents, moms, dads, or people that want to work from home. I'm educating those folks on how they can actually do it, and that it is something that's legitimate. It's not something that I'm trying to sell them into. I'm just sharing my experience and how I'm able to do it myself. So I hope this kind of gives you a good intro into what I'm going to be teaching you today. And so get some paper ready because we're going to be taking notes. And then look down below and you'll see below this video, there's an area where you can actually write questions, comments, etc. Go ahead, log into that. That's my chat role, and you can post things there. If I don't answer it during the call, don't feel bad. It's hard for me to do two things at once sometimes, especially when I'm trying to focus. You can relate, I'm sure. So make sure you do post something there, and I will be sure to answer your questions or anything down there as soon as the hangout ends. All right? So I'm glad to have you here. You're in the right place at the right time, and thank you for listening in on today's hangout. Okay, so how do you speak about your business? Well, the biggest thing that I like to tell folks is you want to share the good stuff. You want to share who you are. You want to share why you're doing it, which is your vision. You don't want to share, oh, I'm doing this because I got laid off and I don't have anything else that I could do, or any number of stories that you have that have led you to where you are today. Usually it's something kind of traumatic that happens to someone, or some major obstacle or challenge that hit you in your life that led you to start your own business. It seems to be the trick or the trait. Now, that's not always the case, but most of the time there's some major catalyst that led you here. You don't want to share the pain that you had or are in the process of having with somebody when you're trying to attract them to your business. Now, obviously, that's part of your story. And as you overcome those challenges and those things that have happened to you, then you want to share that. So the biggest thing I want to tell you, and if you take away from this right now, is don't share the pain until after you've already solved it. So you want to share why you're doing it. Even if you haven't had success yet in this business, you want to share specifically why you're doing it and share other people's successes and why you're doing it because they have done it. And if they can do it, you can do it too. And it's funny how that works, because people like to see, they like to watch and see what you're doing and how you are overcoming the challenges that come into your life. And they may know that you haven't had success yet. In fact, most of them will if they're your friends. For instance, people on Facebook that you've known for a while. If they've been following you or watching you, or you've been emailing them, they know kind of where you came from. So you don't want to lie about where you are. Never lie. Always be honest with who you are. And what's going to happen is you're going to start having successes. Be it small ones, you may get your first lead or something like that, or your first sale, your first trial sale. You share those successes with people, and what happens is now they're watching you more intently. They love watching. People love it, and I know you do too. You love watching the underdog win, don't you? Like if you're into sports or things like that, you really like it, even if it's a team that's opposite the one you like. I personally enjoy watching a team that has never won beat a champion, than see a champion team beat somebody who rarely wins. There's something exciting about that, isn't it? And that's the same with people. We really get excited when we see others that maybe had a struggle and are overcoming it. But you don't want to share your struggle. You want to share the successes that you're having, and you want to share your vision. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to give you a lot of stuff, a lot of value today, but I want you to keep that in your mind when you are composing your message that you're going to be sharing with people when you talk about your business. Okay? All right, so let me get into some other things here. One of the things that I found works really well is to decide the audience that you're planning on targeting. If you haven't done that, if you're an all-in member, and this is a benefit of getting your black card within our system, we actually have a branding training in which we walk you through, and this goes through my own mentor and friend, Rhonda Swan, has an incredible system on how to brand yourself. And branding is so valuable because you can't really attract the right people to you until you know who you really want to attract, okay? And her program walks you through step by step on who you are, number one, and number two, who you should be attracting and what your brand is. Like for me, I'm sure you've seen my brand, you've seen my logo, it's right here in the corner. I am the Tough Mama. My team is Team Tough. And for me, that really resonates with my brand. I like people that are strong, or that want to be strong. Strong people that they're fighters. They want to fight for what they believe in. They want to they're very driven, ambitious individuals. That's the type of people I tend to attract because that's who I am. And so I have my brand. It attracts strong mothers and strong fathers, and strong people that have gone through tragedy or have gone through things in their life in which they resonate with that toughness, as we call it, that tough love that I like to provide to the people who are on my team. That's my brand. Now, that may not be your brand. So, and I hope it's not, because I think everybody is so unique. You don't want to copy somebody else. You want to be your own person. So one of the big things I would suggest to you, if you don't know it already, is to really sit down and figure out, who you are and what's your brand. And if you're an all-in member, then go through that branding lesson, and that's in the Freedompreneur Academy site. And we're going to walk you through the exact steps in order to pinpoint your brand, your perfect brand. So I've gone through it a couple of times, actually, because the first time I went through it, I didn't quite get my brand the way I wanted it. I was still torn. And then the second time I went through it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what it is now. So, don't feel bad if it takes a while, because this is probably the most important part to really attracting the right people to you, is knowing who you are and what you stand for. Okay. All right, so that's that. If you aren't a member, I do want to encourage you, there's a button below, and you can actually click there and join Team Tough. And we go through all this training, and you'll learn the same things that I've learned through the system. And that's really where I'm getting this information. I'm not just making this up. I've learned it from others, and they have influenced me. And again, I take that information and I share it back. And that's really what makes a good leader, is they constantly are learning from others and sharing that value back into the world. All right, so there are two types of people that I market to in this business. And one is somebody who has no desire to have their own business through my system, but already has a business of their own. So these would be business people out in the world who are looking for a way to leverage the internet to grow their business. So that's one target audience that I hit. The other audience is I hit people that are looking for a business that gives them both time freedom as well as an opportunity to potentially have financial freedom, which I think a lot of us are seeking a way to do that's legitimate. So I also help people like that are looking for a business, an online opportunity that's going to help them so that they can live out their dreams. So those are the two that I hit. So depending on the audience that I'm targeting in my advertising or in my messages or things like that, or my emails, I'm going to write those things to hit that specific audience. So here's an example of how I target somebody that potentially is looking for a business. They don't have one yet and they're looking for one. So when I introduce myself, if they ask me what I do, I say, I'm an online entrepreneur. I help ambitious parents to work from home and have more time and financial freedom with their kids. That's just one. I have several, but that's the main one that I do, because I do target a lot of parents, because I happen to be a parent myself to 2 little boys. So I target that audience. So doesn't that sound better than, hey, you want to buy something? Well, I hope so, because your whole goal isn't to sell like that. Your goal is to just share what you do and why. Okay, so that's one, and I can read it one more time in case you wanted to write that down. So I said, I'm an online entrepreneur. I help, and fill in the blank. So for me, I help ambitious parents. You would fill in the blank with who you help. Don't just put people, fill it in. And then to work from home and have more time and financial freedom with their kids. Now, you don't have to put kids. You could put financial freedom in their life. Or it could be something like, and be able to travel more. Some of us really enjoy traveling. So you could say that you help jet setters to be able to work from anywhere and have more time and freedom to travel. So there would be another example of the same exact sentence that I just did, but just changing a few words. So hopefully that helps you so that you have an idea as to how to explain what you do for a living. Okay. All right, here's the other one. And this is one I actually got from a conference that I went to. And if you guys have not been to some of our conferences, wow, talk about value. In fact, I've gone to every conference since I've signed up for the past almost 2 years now. I have not missed a single conference. In fact, for one of them, they had these regional conferences, and I went to 2 of the regional conferences within a matter of months. And I'm not saying that to brag at all. I hope you don't take it that way. I'm saying that because every conference that I go to, I learn more information and more valuable things that I can incorporate into my business and share with others. And every one of them that I've gone to, I've also met people that have become my colleagues, my friends, almost like family for many of them. Some of them you may even be on this hangout right now, so hello out there. And we see each other, we get together, we swap ideas, we build, we grow, and we help each other to succeed. And to me, that's invaluable, especially when you are working from home on a regular basis. You don't see that many people when you're working from home. So it's a real benefit to get out there and network and learn what's happening right now. And plus, it's a business write-off. It's a cost of doing business. And so I include my conferences and everything when I submit my taxes at the end of the year. So it's great. I mean, I definitely, if you have not been to a conference, one of our conferences, I recommend you attend. If you are a business owner, then I recommend you find conferences that make sense for your business, because that's where you're going to get around people and help take your business to the next level. All right, so the next part that I wanted to discuss is how do you share this business and the products and tools that you have with other business owners? Okay, so this is the one that I got, and I got this from here. I wrote it down here. I got this from Melissa and Kevin Connect. So if you're out there, I just want to shout out to you and say hello. The great value that they provided at the most recent conference, which was in Nashville. So this is what they said, and I wrote this down. It was just so awesome. They share this with business owners. It says, I'm an online business developer. I help businesses to leverage the internet to build their businesses and their brand to attract more customers. Doesn't that sound really good? I mean, and that's really what you do, but it's so concise. So I'll read it again in case you want to jot that down. If you're sharing the products that you have in this company with business owners, this is what you would say. I'm an online business developer. I help businesses to leverage the internet to build their businesses and their brand to attract more customers. Wow, powerful, huh? So, these are just things that have helped me. So when I'm speaking to someone, I'm not stumbling over my words. I am saying something that's clear and concise as to what I do, and it opens the door up for communication. Okay, so I'm hoping that you're taking notes and you're getting some value out of this. If you are, comment below. I'd love to hear from you and see what you think, or if perhaps you have a paragraph that you already are using in your business that's really working well, share it below. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see how you share your business with others. Some companies, they call this your elevator speech, right? They say you need to be able to share your business in the time it takes for you to ride in an elevator with somebody. So that's a very quick, short sentence or two about your business. And it also should be something that kind of piques their interest. It makes them think, wow, that sounds kind of neat. I'd like to learn more about what you do. And that's kind of your goal. You want people to be attracted to what you offer and to resonate with them in some way. Now, with that said, I'm going to give you some tips here on how you can start sharing your business more often and getting more of a response from people. Okay? So are you ready? I hope so. I wish that we had like back-to-back conversation here because I feel like I'm talking to myself. I know you guys are out there watching, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I kind of wish some people could like talk back to me. Some of you that are on my team, we need to start getting you on the call with me so you can start sharing your stories and sharing some of the successes that you've had and tips that you've learned at different events and trainings you've been on. All right, so I wrote down some more tips here, and I'm just going to kind of get this propped up here. I know you can't see it, but I got notes. All right, so one of the big tips that I've learned is when you're talking to people, ask more questions. Rather than telling them who you are and what you're doing, get in the habit of asking more questions. So even though I just gave you 2 ways to share what you do in your business, what I would suggest, rather than just throw that out there, is when you meet somebody for the first time or when you're getting to know someone, ask about them. Ask about their business. Ask them about their life. What is it that they love? What is it that that they hope to do with their life? What makes them happy? What are their favorite hobbies? Because as you start to get to know those people, things will start to bubble up where you can see they have a problem or a challenge that they would like to have solved. So here's an example. So let's say that you're asking somebody, how are you today? When you ask somebody something simple like, how are you today? If you're sincere about it, you want to hear how they actually speak. And you can get this even if you're not on a phone call. If you're actually texting somebody, you can tell by how they respond kind of how their mood is. Okay? If they just say fine, then they may be in a hurry, and you might just check and say, is this a good time to talk with you? And they may say no, or yeah, actually it is. And if it is, then just say, hey, I just hadn't talked to you in a while, and I just wanted to reach out and see how you're doing and what's going on in your life. And by doing that, now you're opening up the conversation, and ask questions, and don't try to sell anything to people when you're talking to them. Basically, just get to know them and find out what their needs are. Because as you start to greet and meet with people, and I'm suggesting to you, if you're not getting the hint here, to start reaching out to people on your list. Start reaching out to people that you have contacts with, such as on Facebook or an email, and ask them how they're doing. Be in contact with those people. It's called networking. Even if it's something as small as, just sending a really cool picture or an article that you came across that you thought might be of value to them. Sometimes that's all it takes to open up the lines of communication and start talking with them and finding out where they are in their life and if you can help them in some way. All right, so I have made it a personal, I don't know, a mission, I guess would be a good word, a personal mission to talk to a minimum of 10 people per day. So what do I talk about and how do I do it? Well, basically, I do it on Facebook. If you're not using Facebook, it's a great place to connect with people. And I go out and I go to Messenger, and I have a lot of people that I've friended over the past few years. And so every now and then, I'll think about somebody that I haven't talked to in a while, and I'll just message them real quick, and I'll just say, hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on in your life? And I just kind of leave it at that, and I wait for their response. And, a lot of times they'll write like, hey, nice to hear from you. And, I just open the lines of communication. So I talk to 10 people and I ask questions. I ask them, what's going on in their life. If they have kids, if I know they have kids, how are your kids? And it's not that I'm just doing this to lead them somewhere. I'm doing it because I genuinely care about them and I want to know how they're doing. And if I happen to have something that might be able to help them, awesome. If I don't, it's no big deal. I'm just connecting. I'm making that connection. And that person, everybody is special. Everybody is important. And if you get into a mindset that you're just out to sell somebody something instead of just genuinely connecting and having good relationships, people are going to see right through that. And they're not going to want to connect with you. Okay? They can see that. I know you may not believe it, but they can. So you really genuinely have to enjoy people and reaching out to them. Okay, so one of the things that I've done recently to connect even more is I send digital gifts to people. So I'll pick like 10 random people on my friends list, and then I will just send them like a digital book or something like that. Usually that's what I send. There are a few things, like I have a list that I send to martial artists of self-defense. It's basically the mental side of it, like things to watch for to make your home safe, or things to watch for to make your car safe, so that you have that type of defense or protection. So I'll send them that and just say, hey, I thought you might find this of value. I just want to say thanks for being on my friends list. And I get a lot of response from that. A lot of people are like, oh, that's really cool. Thanks for sending me that. And it opens up the lines of communication. And on the other side of it, I have the book Think and Grow Rich, which is a fabulous book if you haven't read it, by Napoleon Hill. That has a free rights to it, so you can send that out, and I have a digital copy of it. So what I'll do is I'll actually send out the digital copy to people on my list in my messenger. So I'll just say, hey, I just want to say thank you for being my friend here on Facebook, or friending or fanning, becoming a fan of my business page. And because of that, I just wanted to give you this free gift today and hope you enjoy it. And I get a lot of people that respond and say, wow, thanks for that. And there's no strings attached at all. Really, there aren't. I'm just giving it away because I find it valuable. It's helped me. That book has really, really helped me. And I find that the more that I share and the more that I give, the better and the happier that I am in general. And that's really what it's about. If you want to attract more people to you, you have to create your own happiness. And you'll find that the more you give, the happier you are. And, in turn, the more people are attracted to you and want to do what you're doing. Okay? All right. So some other things that I recommend is share your vision. In other words, when you're talking to somebody, you might, if they ask you, what have you been up to? You might just say, well, man, I've really been, I feel so blessed in my life, or I feel so lucky, or whatever words you usually use. I feel so blessed, and say, I've had so many great things happen this year, and I'm working on a really exciting project right now. And so you're sharing a little bit of your vision and say, the part of the project is that I'm able to spend more time with my kids, and I'm able to travel more. And so I really, really love my life, and I'm so happy that I've decided to take my life in this direction. And so people are kind of going to be curious about that, but you're being genuine because you are involved. If you're in this business, you're involved in an amazing project in which you are actually changing your life. Every day in this business, you're taking steps to change your life. You ever thought about that? I mean, what an incredible business that we are in, that you're able to every day improve yourself through self-development and inner circle audios. If you're part of our bronze level, we have access to these inner circle audios that basically are really positive digital audios that you can listen to throughout your day, and it improves your life. It helps you to change your mindset about how you might have thought of things in the past and to become the best version of yourself. And to me, that's super powerful. And I love what I do because of that. So here's the next thing I wanted to share with you is find out when you're talking to people, try to find out what's the biggest pain points that they've got going on in their life right now. What is it that keeps them up at night? What is it that keeps them, thinking about how they could be better? Ask them genuinely, what's going on in your life these days? What is it that keeps you up at night? Are you happy? However you want to word it, you got to talk in your own voice. You don't want to use the same exact words that I use because that may not be how you speak to your friends. So you want to talk in that way. But by finding out what their biggest pain point is, you may have a solution for them. In fact, I'm almost guarantee you have some solution for them, because if you are in our system, we have things that help with mindset. We have things that help people that want more time with their family. If they're too busy all the time, this is a great business to free up time. We have things that help with your mindset in order to be a more positive influence in other people's lives. If they're really negative and they're having a tough time right now, that might be something that could help them. We have things that can help their business if they're looking to be a top producer in their industry. We have a product that teaches them how they can be a top producer in any industry, not just this one. And we also have one that teaches them how to build a team. Like maybe they're a manager and they're looking to build a team. We have a product called the Team Builder Formula, which actually teaches you techniques on how to build a team of people that are scalable. In other words, you can build an extremely large organization without you having to do more and more work. And there's techniques for that and how you can do that and be a tremendous asset to whatever company or business that you're in. So for me, I have so many products that are valuable and can help a lot of different people and a lot of different problems that I'm happy, I'm excited to share those with people if I find that it can help them in some way. Okay. All right. So here's the next thing. And that is, and I got this from AK Jr. He's somebody that is a leader in our system. And AK, if you're out there, I just want to say, hey, you're awesome. Just love the things that you're doing. So one of the things that I learned from AK was he was driven when he first started this business. He set a goal that he wanted to earn $100,000 in 90 days. Okay. 100,000 US dollars in 90 days. So that seems like a really big goal, doesn't it? Wouldn't all of us like to do that? And he actually almost hit it. He got to I think at the conference, he said he got to $98,000 in 90 days. So, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Shoot for the moon, right? Shoot for the moon and you may land among the stars, and I kind of butchered that, but you get the Bruce Lee quote there. So amazing. And so what did he do? And what did I take away from him sharing his story with us at a conference? Number one, he talks to people every day. And that's kind of where I got this talk to 10 people a day thing. He does that every day. Number two, one of his things that he said is he gets 3 no's per day, a minimum of 3 no's. Okay. So that means he is looking to have people say no. He's not going to stop until they do say no. And I thought that was really interesting. And so it's actually on his daily mode of operation or daily plan is that he wants to get 3 people to say no to him per day. Or he won't go to sleep. He will not go to sleep until it happens. And he tells all the people on his team to do that. And I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. And the other thing is he he asks a lot of questions, but he also takes a posture in that he's going somewhere and you're either coming with him or you're not. Okay. And it doesn't matter to him either way. He's just saying, this is where I'm going. If you want to do this too, then come on board. If you don't, the bus is moving, it's leaving the stop, and I'm going there with or without you. And so, I mean, it's a very strong posture to take by saying it that way. And some people may find that a little harsh, but I tell you what, it works. It works for him, and he takes that posture because that's who he is. Now, that may not be your personality, but I can tell you that it's really worked well for him, because basically he said, I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit 100,000 in 90 days. I'm going to do it with or without you. If you're going to join me, these are the things that you'll need to do. Otherwise, you won't hear from me, because I'm on a mission to go there, and I'm going to work with those people that are willing to do the things that are necessary in order to achieve that same goal. And yeah, it's strong, but I tell you what, it's amazing. When you can have that self-confidence to know that you're going here, and you're going to bring everybody with you who wants to join you there. Or if people are on the fence, if they're on the fence, it's going to polarize them right away. They're going to either decide at that moment, yeah, I'm going to go with you, I'm going to run with you, or they're going to say, forget it. So you instantly, how somebody feels about what they're going to do based on that posture. So it's just something to think about. I'm not saying do this. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you have to follow the things that I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what's worked for other people, and you can decide if you want to incorporate that into your business practices or not. Okay. All right. So here's the other thing. And this is a way of actually selling. It's called feel, felt, found. If you're not familiar with that, you can look it up on Google, look up feel, felt, found. But basically, when you talk to somebody, you want to use this formula, feel, felt, found. So as you're listening to them and any of the problems that they might be having or challenges that they're overcoming or trying to overcome, you want to, first of all, acknowledge their feelings. So empathize, that's the word I was looking for, empathize with them and tell them that you understand how they feel, which you should understand how they feel if you've been in a similar place. If you haven't been in a similar place, don't lie to them and don't say, I understand. Just empathize with them and say, wow, I can feel your pain. I can feel where that would really, really hurt. Okay. So that's the feel part. Okay. Then you go to the next part, and that's the felt. So then you tell them about somebody or maybe yourself that has felt the same way. So if you haven't felt the same way that they have, then you share with them somebody else, a story that you heard or somebody that you know that has felt the same way. And this is a great opportunity for you to talk about a mentor that has had a similar situation. And if you don't have a mentor, oh my goodness, I totally recommend that, because if you don't have a mentor, you're not going anywhere. I've had mentors, gosh, for the past 7 years, even outside of this business, I've had mentors, because a mentor helps you, they guide you, and they point you in the right direction when you're feeling lost. And we all get to that point. We all feel lost at times, right? And so you need that person. You need a mentor or a series of mentors in order to help you to stay on the path. So if you don't have a mentor, definitely reach out and get one. I'm happy to be your mentor if you're looking for a mentor. I love mentoring people. I do have some very strict requirements that I do for my team as far as mentoring them. But I will tell you that it's nothing that you can't do. And if you really want to have success in your life, then you have to stretch yourself and to do the right thing. So I call it tough love, right? Because I believe in inspiring others to do the right thing. But I also believe that in order to do that, you have to be willing to stretch yourself and meet me halfway, because I'm not going to hold your hand in order to get you someplace. You have to be willing to work too. Okay? All right, so I know I kind of went off the target here, but we talked about feel. Now we're talking about felt. So you're sharing how you felt. So here's an example. I know how you feel, and that looks rough. I had a person in here yesterday who felt the same way when they were in the similar situation. Okay, so now you're sharing that somebody felt that way, or I felt the same way when I was in that situation. Like, here's another example. Like I personally have lost a job. I had a job that I was working for a long time, and I really I was at a very high level in that position, and they had some layoffs. So I know what it feels like to lose something that you feel is really valuable to yourself and to your family. And so I can relate to that. All right. So then after you've done the feel felt, the next thing is what you found. Okay. What did you find? So let's talk about what you found. All right. So let me hold on. I'm getting a message coming through. I just want to make sure you guys are still hearing me, I hope. Just a second. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're all right. I had a message that somebody said they couldn't hear me, but their mute was on. So hopefully you can hear me again now. All right, so the next thing I want to say is, what you found. And the found part is really important, because now you're sharing with them the solution. You're sharing with them that you have a solution. You've empathized with them. You've felt the same way, or somebody has felt the same way, and you found a solution. So then you might say, I found that when I got a mentor and started doing this business, that I was able to achieve a much better lifestyle than I had when I was working for somebody else. So that's just an example I just pulled off the cuff there, but you get the idea, right? So feel, felt, found. That's what you're going to do when you're talking to somebody, specifically when you're talking to them after they've shared with you a pain point that they have in their life. So you listen to them, you say, man, I used to feel that same way. And, I understand how you feel. Many others have felt the same way. And what they've found is this. Okay. So hopefully you're getting that formula. And by talking that way, now people are going to resonate more with what you're saying. And that's your goal. You don't want to turn people away right off the bat. You want to empathize with them and really help them so that they can succeed. So, I'm trying to find another example for you. All right, well, let's see. I was pulling up some notes that I had. So one thing you might say is, other people just like you have felt the same way. And here's what we found. We found a solution that allows us to work from home, allows us to travel, and allows us the time freedom to spend with our kids. Okay, so I hope that some of these examples are helping you to structure your own feel, felt, found example when you're speaking to somebody else. All right, so let me see if there's anything else that I missed on my list here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's kind of a shorter hangout today, but it's a great day. It's beautiful. I don't know where it is where you're at right now, but it is gorgeous here on this Monday. So I'm going to probably go out and go for a little hike. But I wanted to share with you just a summary of what we talked about today. So the first thing is, you need to understand who your audience is. I know I've talked to you about this on some of my other hangouts. You need to know who you're trying to attract, because your whole goal is to educate and sort. So you are educating people about what you do and how you can help, and you are sorting those people who are not a good fit for what you do. And sometimes they kind of sort themselves out. In fact, that's the preference. You want them to sort themselves out and realize that this particular opportunity is not a good fit for them, so that you don't waste your time trying to help somebody to be successful if they're not even a good fit. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, make sure you start asking more questions. Get out there, ask questions of people, find out what their biggest pain points are. What is it that keeps them up late at night? Because those types of things are where you get the real communication going. And perhaps you can find that your business has a solution to that problem. And that would be great, because now you've got somebody who you can help because you have a solution. All right, the other thing is, don't be afraid of no's as you're sharing your business, you're sharing with people. When somebody says no, that's good. That's just one of your three, right? Take the little note from AK Jr. Try to get those 3 no's per day. And that way you know where they stand, and you have gotten your 3 no's. So that right there tells me that you are working it. You're out there, you're working your business, you're actively talking to people, and you should be happy when you get those no's. Maybe not so happy, but you should be happy that you are taking action and getting feedback. And at least then, when they say no, it doesn't necessarily mean no forever. It might mean just no right now. Because I have found some people have come back to me that have said no. They've come back because they realize that what I offer is the best solution to their problem. And at first they maybe thought, it was too much money, for example, or it was something they didn't understand. Well, then later, as they started to follow me, they realized, wow, this really is a good thing. And then they've come back. So don't ever feel that no closes the door forever, but it does show that you're taking action. All right. And don't forget about feel, felt, found. All right. So every time you're talking to somebody, when they share their pain point with you, you're going to use that feel, how you feel, or you felt that way before. And I understand how you feel. Here's how I felt. And then how you found a solution. Okay. All right. So those things should really help you as you're sharing your business opportunity with others. Get out there, talk to people, message people, send emails, let people know what you're doing, share the good stuff that's going on in your life, and share your biggest reason why you're doing this and why you are choosing to live the life of your dreams rather than building somebody else's dream. So with that, I will see you next week. We may have our Down and Dirty on Tuesday next week because of the holiday. So check your email. I'll be sending one of those out here in the next week, or in the next few days, I mean. So check your email and you'll find out when the next Down and Dirty is. With that, have a great rest of the week and we'll talk to you real soon. Take care.